This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and I am back to terrorize the Brawl format with things that Brawl players absolutely hate. One thing that we can all agree that we hate are taxes. Nasty, nasty taxes. We hate it when we have to pay more than we feel like we should for our spells. And the queen of taxes is Thalia, the guardian of Thraben. For 1 and a white, this legendary human soldier has first strike, and non-creature spells cost 1 more to cast. This card was snuck in through a historic anthology. I think it was Historic Anthology 2. And while she hasn't seen much play in the actual historic format, in Brawl, this is the solution to the Omnaths. This is the thing that will drive the people playing Teferi and various other high power commanders absolutely crazy. When their spells cost more, they sometimes just die. So this is a Thalia deck just built around completely running the opponent over, just running them down. Look at all the 1-drops. There are so many cards that cost 1 in this deck, and there's only a couple of creatures that cost 2. I do have these laid out in piles. We'll get to it in a second. But one thing I want to talk about, if you're building an aggressive Brawl deck, especially a Brawl deck that wants to play their commander at the specific spot on curve every single game, it makes a lot of sense to build your deck with a hole in your curve. And you can see that in our curve over here, we only have 5 cards that cost 2. So one of them is like Pride of the Conquerors, which we want to play when we have a big board anyway, and 21 1-drops. That's because our 2-drop is almost always Thalia. There's only 1 card that costs 4. That's because it's usually Thalia again. So our curve is made with the idea that we're going to cast Thalia on turn 2 and possibly again on turn 4. So what do we have for the deck? Just a ton of very aggressive, very aggressive creatures. As well as anything that gives us extra utility is at a premium, like Giant Killer. Legion's Landing is a spell. We try to avoid those. We only have a few things that aren't creatures in the deck. There are 3 instants and 3 enchantments. And really, we just want things that pump our board or can come down ahead of Thalia, like the Landing can. And Landing is such a good card. It makes the cut as an exception to the rule for the most part. We have a lot of ways to protect Thalia, like Selfless Savior that you're used to from Standard. We have the Clarion Spirit, which I think is a great 2-drop because it's actually a great 3-drop. You play it on turn 3 along with a 1-drop and you get another body. So mainly it's there as a 3-drop because our 2-drop is Thalia. For other ways to tax and torture our opponents, we have Hushbringer and Strict Proctor. There are some Nombos with these cards in our own deck, notably Venerated Loxodon, Elephant Jesus, which can pump the team. But I think that's totally worth still playing these cards because they usually mess up the opponent's deck a lot more than ours. Tithe Taker is another form of tax that keeps the opponent from interacting with us on their turn. Archon of Emeria, you want to make sure it's the last card you play because we like to cast a lot of spells on our turns as well. Elite Spellbinder makes the cut out of Strixhaven. Redain, of course, making the opponent pay more. Vryn Wingmere. If you're against a deck that runs, say, Teferi, Hero of Dominaria, something I might play, then if you go turn 2 Thalia, turn 2 Vryn Wingmare, and all of their non-creature spells cost 2, they're not going to wrath you anytime soon. And if you play a Luminous Broodmoth and they wrath you, that's just funny. We also have ways to pump the team to make sure that we end the game before the opponent can recover from the taxation. Pride of the Conquerors, Make a Stand, Trial of Solidarity. These all get taxed by our own creatures, but it's usually enough because when we cast these, we tend to end the game. Also, the opponent is usually in a rush to kill Thalia, so if they get rid of Thalia, we also can snap these off. Benelish Marshal, Unbreakable Formation, Venerated Loxodon, ways to make things bigger. And then our removal spells, we have Skyclave Apparition, we have Sigrid Godfavored, and we have Fairgrounds Warden to get pesky blockers out of the way. In the mana base, we want mostly just snow-covered plains because we want to play our cards easily and on time, but a few cards still made the cut, like Faceless Haven, Castle Ardenvale, and 1 copy of Shafet Dunes because it can pump our team. That's the deck. People are going to hate it. It absolutely just runs over decks that rely on Growth Spiral and Cultivate, which are so popular in historic Brawl. So I'm looking forward to... Honestly, I shouldn't make this video. I should hide this because this tortures all the decks I like to play. But you know what? sometimes I just gotta spike it up. Today's video is dedicated to 7th Guest. If you would like a video dedicated to you, hit the join button below and become a YouTube Cool Kids Club member, or join the Patreon, link in the description. Thank you, 7th Guest, for all the support for so long. We're going to get a sweet cosmetic in your honor. I want it to be one of the newer cards if we can do that, but here in Historic Brawl, of course, there are a lot of interesting options. So many choices, many choices. I think I want a giant killer, but I don't want this giant killer. I've been using it forever. I want this giant killer so it matches my other sweet adventure cards. So that one's for 7th Guest. We definitely play the card a lot, so thank you for everything. Let's dive in. Let Thalia's nonsense begin. All right. Let's see. Who wanted to resolve their spells today and doesn't get to? Unafraid Stefan. Okay, that's a creature. It's a creature, which means they can play that. We go first. This hand is good. Going first is busted. Let's get him. The Pride of the Conquerors might be a little bit of a tilt, but between this and the Guide Mother, there aren't many other things in our deck that give us trouble. Here comes Thalia. Caw. Garrison Cat. Let's unload the team. We're doing it. We're doing it, everyone. Oh, man. They're going to need a board wipe. They're going to need it fast. Here comes their commander. Fetches a Spawn of Mayhem and a Baneslayer Angel. The Baneslayer could be a huge problem, but it's 2 turns away. Can we finish the job before then? All right, so we're going to get to activate the... Once we play Sigrid, we turn on the City's Blessing. So let's wait for the block. Oh, you don't want... I guess it doesn't matter. We could kill the Thalia instead of exiling it, depending what's blocked. Okay, they go there. But we don't want to lose our snubbles. Let's just grab the Kaalia. The Kaalia and the Thalia. What a story. It goes back to command anyway. And now, this is it. Does the opponent have the board wipe? They have a Seraph of the Scales. Okay. We're going to leave a mark. Here they come. What you got? Block. Pride of Conquerors. Take 1,000,000. Oh, baby. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. That's how we start the party. Teferi, if we're on the play, I don't know what you're going to do. Cry? Oh my gosh, we are. Oh my goodness. Let's go. Sky Marcher Aspirant for max damage. We even have the Tithe Taker. Fountain of Renewal. Okay, they got something down that can prolong the game. Easy, Thalia. We're going to need the land for the Spellbinder to take the Wrath of God. All right, not yet. So what's the most damage? It's not Tithe Taker. And we don't have to worry about a counter next turn, I don't think. So let's play the one that replaces itself. Let's play the Dauntless, protect the Thalia. That fountain's going to prevent a lot of damage in given enough time here. All right, so they might have something here. We can go for the Tithe Taker first. If they have a 2-mana counter, they have to play it, or nothing works. If they don't, play something like right here, right now. The Tithe Taker could just lock them out of doing anything interesting. We really could have used another land, though. We've drawn 3 of our 3-drops. Brainstorm, okay. That's a pricey one. That's a pricey one. Brainstorm locked. Game. Game. Nice. We're fighting against... Ooh, that's going to be big green Vorinclex. Probably not where Thalia wants to be, but we're on the play. Why am I on the play 3 games in a row? This makes no sense. This makes absolutely no sense. Mulligan, mulligan. All right, let's go with the Vanguard. We might decide to go for damage next turn instead of Thalia by playing 2 creatures. The Apparition, yeah. I don't think we're actually going to affect our opponent too much with the Thalia being on green, so we're just going to move in on getting damage with the Vanguard. All right, yeah, let's see if we end up blowing up some kind of ambush. Do you have anything? Nothing yet? All right, Thalia it is. The fur is flying. They don't like it. They really don't like this deck. Oh my goodness. Kenrith. Okay. They're really not going to like Thalia, I don't think. They probably ramp on the play. Oh, I'm ready. Opponent looking at Thalia, debating what kind of an opening hand they can keep. Hope a Girper might be sacrificed in the future to try to time walk a turn. Thalia straight to the battlefield. We draw another land. Every land after this is too many. I'm a little nervous. I'm just going to flood. Marshall. Law-Rune. Let's go, team. All right, now we're just looking for some kind of amplifier. Opponent scries to the top. So many turns, no plays. We keep it coming. They did keep on top. Gonna play the Hunted Witness. We'll see. I think we hold on to the Hope of Girper this turn, even if the opponent sweeps the board. All right, it's Solemn. We can move that with the Apparition. And then next turn we can Hope of Girper. And that should be a bit much for the opponent. Formation. Well, we can just tap it and get in, or we can formate and get in. Let's do it. What you got? They get a card. They take a bunch of damage. Now this says, until your next turn, can't cast non-creature spells. Let's do it. That's you. You don't get to cast non-creature spells. No sweeps. Got him. All right, who's gonna stop me? Who's gonna play some creatures? Because the Thalia is being too much. What the heck is this? That's the mill creature. That's the mill commander, right? Oh, baby, easy money. Candy from a baby over here. You're not gonna mill me. What's the toughness on this? 4 toughness is a lot, but we do have Pride and Marshall. Trusty Rusty. Thalia. Not Talia, Thalia. You do nothing. You do absolutely nothing. Speed run in this game. Mythic Subdual, that takes away the abilities. Can I drop that off somehow? Can exile my own creature. Not great. I guess we're just going to deploy the squad. They're not going to sweep them. And now we'll defend the Benelish Marshal, and the opponent packs it in. I think I found the new way to squash your dailies. Oh my goodness. This has been a massacre. I'm just on the play every single game. The algorithm's totally not fine. Oh my gosh. I bet it has something to do with your curve. Your curve puts you on the play. Because there's no way I've ever been on the play this many times in a row in my life. All right, what do we lead with? I think we lead with the kitty cat. Let's lead with the Inspector. We might need to sack this clue to try to curve. The opponent has Once Upon a Time. It's the only thing that would hold priority there. Unless somebody's playing full control in Historic Brawl, in which case, I hope you question your life choices. There's the Once Upon a Time. I was really hoping to Thalia the Once Upon a Time. Like if they had played a tap land and said go, and missed it when I cast the Thalia, that would have been awesome. Anyway, Dina, the Soul Steeper. Whenever you gain life, lose a life. That's a scary card. We draw a land, so we don't have to worry about curving out right away. Play a 1/3? Nope, Paradise Druid. Okay. There's Make a Stand, that's a good one. So, the opponent's not going to block, so we're not going to have to Sigrid. We could play a Redain. Depends what spells are in their deck, doesn't it? But they can't cast any like 4-drop spells next turn anyway. But I still think it's going to end up being Redain for the mana efficiency alone. But we could also draw a card and play like a Bodyguard to protect Thalia. But I like getting the flyer. If you had cool spells to cast, they might be harder to cast here. Veto! Let's go. Alright, we don't draw the land, so attacking with these is looking pretty bad, but we do have the Sigrid. Okay, not so bad. Opponent might be defensive here. Okay. We'll take your veto then. Opponent's still with 18 life. That's a good amount. And 3 toughness can be a chunk, but as soon as we get a 4th land, Make a Stand powers right through it. Phyrexian Tower can provide a mana boost. I'm wondering if this is like Bolas's Citadel, but there's no way they're going to play that over the Redain. Okay, they're going after the Redain. They must have some big spells to cast. Broodmoth, and we're a mana shy. Oh, that makes me sad. All right. Attack. Damage continues. Clarion Spirit. What do we want to defend? I think we defend the Sigrid and keep them from getting veto back. Ooh, the pressure. What will happen? What will happen? The scoop. The scoop will happen. All right. Would anybody like to rise up here? Gruul. Domri. Well, Domri is going to cost a little more. I'm on the play again. Okay. Nice. All right, coming out with the Huzzah Marshal. We're going to need a land. Can we find one? Goose. Ooh, Goose. All right, well, I'm going straight for this. Gonna make your Domri cost more. Ew, that's a big creature, but they did use their extra mana to play it. So what do we play? We've got a lot of choices. We could play a Loxodon. We could play a Marshal. Marshal, nothing gets through. Or we could just pick on their hand. Let's go. Into the air. Put the pressure on. Gemrazor. Rubble Belt Rioters. Wow. Vorinclex, these are too expensive to care about. Gemrazor, though. Gemrazor with reach is a problem. We're gonna hit that. So the opponent can make a Lotus Petal and try to cast their Domri in the future. Make a food, I mean. Or they can play this Rubble Belt Rioters and try to get aggressive. What does your Gruul deck do? Our turn is probably going to be Cleric, Pupil, Loxodon, something along those lines. And then play Marshal and run over everything. They say go. So they do plan to use the goose for food. We draw Fairgrounds Warden, which is interesting, because instead of the line we talked about, we could take out their goose and just try to cut them off on mana. Or we could take out their Spellbreaker and just get really aggressive. I do think this is the best time for it. If they play Domri, we can attack it down, so I think we take the Spellbreaker. Easy. Sorin, another Planeswalker. Oh, baby. If we just get the Thalia down, and they get to go first. Okay, okay. A true challenge has emerged. Is this a good hand against them? It's not great. The Faceless Haven with only 2 lands isn't fantastic. I'm actually going to take my free mulligan. Okay. Okay. Not bad. Vern Wingmare. That's a card. Turn 1 Vampire, you betcha. Let's go turn 1 Knight. Knight on Knight Violence. By the way, the Faceless Haven again, really? Freebooter. Gonna get our Make a Stand. Lucky you. We don't have many cards you can take there. Send in the Knight. Thalia, tax your Sorin. No attacks. The opponent wants to pump up the Knight. No attack with the Freebooter either. It's kind of weird. Kind of weird. Let's drop a Wingmare. Keep Sorin off the battlefield. Also makes our Trial of Solidarity infinitely more expensive, but all part of the show. That's a problem. Well, attacking into that's no good. Do I offer the Wingmare for the Freebooter to get Make a Stand? I don't have a way to pump this anytime soon, except for the trial, I suppose. I don't think the opponent will want this trade, though. Let's find out. If we're going to get done, it has to be through the air, or in one big spurt after the Obliterator attacks. Maybe we can draw our Giant Killer. Well, they found all the lands to play Sorin. That's pretty good, but they only have 1 Vampire. They're gonna get a Vampire out of their hand. Is it a good one? It is the Haunt of the High Tower. Whenever it attacks, discard a card. Whenever a card is put into a graveyard from anywhere, put a counter on it. Alright. And that all gets around Hushbringer. Alright, well they attacked with their Obliterator, so this is a play we can make. It's got Vigilance, so we're going with everybody. The question is, face or at the Sorin? This has lifelink, it's terrifying to race. Face is the place. Maybe we draw another board wipe next turn, or we use the Dunes, and we get the job done. There's a block. 1 less Vampire. Down to 6, up to 23 on our side. Opponent does get a +1/+1 counter on the Haunt. They'll want to attack with it. Other Vampires get +1/+1. I mean, the opponent drew the right tech here. Ooh, they give that lifelink and trample. Oh, it's so much damage. So much lifelink damage. Opponent goes up to 17. Dunes won't do it. Alright, you got me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah. A 4/3 could attack here. There's just no way we're gonna race this, right? No way. It's impossible. I'll have to do a Sorin deck sometime. Okay, Prismari Dragon as commander. That's a fun one. But are those artifacts gonna get taxed by Thalia? I think they are. On the draw, hard mode. Okay. We get to play Legion's Landing, though. I don't know. We'll have to decide whether or not it's more important to play Thalia on 2 or to go wide for the landing. I don't think flipping the landing on 3 is that crucial, but who knows? We definitely have the flyers as well. This is going to be something. When Galazeth Prismari enters the battlefield, create a treasure. Artifacts you control have tap, add 1 mana of any color. Spend this only to cast instants or sorceries. You can still sacrifice them to cast whatever. Nice. Strict Proctor can tax the treasure-making ability. Signet, okay. I guess we want the Proctor right away then. Does it hurt any of our cards? Not yet. So that at least means if they're going to play the Galazeth Prismari, they don't get a treasure. Nice job ramping. Mind Stone. Oh man. Wish I had Thalia then. Let's go for it. Resolves. Try and think of what they might have here. Just sacrifice Mind Stone, I guess. Alright, if they play the dragon next turn, I don't know what we're supposed to do with that. We could throw the Hope of Ghirapur at it. It's probably not great. We'll just go for the Pegasus. We need to draw a buff or a removal. Or this is really gonna lock us down. Okay, they play a very expensive Prismari command to deal with Thalia, which we can send back to the command zone and then play again, but it's so that they can get Aether Spellbomb down. What the heck? Let's see if they let me flip the landing. They do? Alright, let's re-Thalia, make things hard. And Ghirapur? I think Ghirapur's time is growing short, so we better get it down. Opponent has a good amount of mana now. We got a reader. Okay, a very expensive extra turn. Shocked in Steam Vents. They must have something big to do. I mean, they're thinking so much. They must have something impressive going on. All right, they have to pay 2 for that treasure. I hope that wasn't part of their calculation. They don't pay for it. My goodness. What's going on with you? Their head is exploding. All right, something to remove this dragon or something to pump my squad. Let's do this. Come on, deck. Come on, deck. They're down to no timeouts, and they're still just running the clock looking at this board, trying to figure out what the hell to do. Like, they have touched every card several times, and it's eventually they figure it out. It's Shatter Skull Smashing. It's a very expensive Thalia. That is not a solution to my situation. Let's go Thraben. Let's auto pay. Let's draw a card. See if we can find some answer to get us through this frickin' dragon. Not yet, but Dunes can buff team. So we're just gonna try to go really wide, I guess. The opponent will have this Aether Spell Bomb, they'll have this Mind Stone, they have a castle, and they have a 3/4 that's just dominating the battlefield. And now they're running the clock on absolutely nothing. Nice. Off the top, I hope their deck is full of big, powerful spells. If it's not, they built it wrong, because they are definitely in position to cast some real haymakers here. They say go. That's a card. That is a card. Let's go. They're scared of hope. We'll let that go. Trusty Rusty. Pass turn, hold this up for a sweeper. It would be really nice if the sweeper were a one-sided affair. And we can just make more creatures. X equals 4. What a draw! That's what I'm talking about when I say haymakers, right there. So if I make this indestructible, they still draw the cards. So it's not a good use of my mana or my effort. We still need them to like cast some kind of a sweeper. And then blow it out with Make a Stand and have them have no counter spell. Soul Guide Lantern, sure. Doesn't solve much. Does produce more mana though. Well. Okay. Creature. Haven. A lot of mana open. Let's see what happens. Hope for the best. We still have to work on this Aether Spell Bomb, which can bounce a card at will. Opponent's brain is exploding with options. How do they have a timeout? They should have no timeouts after the amount of rope they've used this game. It's been absolutely insane. It's frustrating. Magma Opus. They're going to have a blocker here too, so they're going to come out better, a lot better than they started, even if we neutralize the removal. They're going to 4. They tap their spell bomb. Can they still use it here? They don't. All right. Let's see. What do you have? Draw a card. I want to try this Prismari deck. Maybe in regular Brawl because Galazeth Prismari is a pretty new card. All right, that'll generate some 1/1s. Chemister's Insight. Yeah. We need to have 3 more creatures than they do. Okay. Marshall. Rude. Man, I'm almost... Wait, I am there. I got it. I got it. You can block 4 of them, but then you take at least 4. These can't tap for mana. Because they have summoning sickness. Yeah, you can rope this one out all you want to. You die now. Your mana's gone. Yep, touch every card. You're still dead. Right? Right! Yeah! Oh, that was a scary one. I thought that one was over. And we are back for the post-game wrap-up, and if you just want to slice and dice through that Brawl queue, get those cosmetics quick, and leave the opponents in the most helpless feeling. Just, oh, it's so bad. I think this deck is for you. I enjoyed it more than I probably should. The format really just isn't prepared for these levels of aggression. The Brawl is, of course, has a reputation for being a bit more casual. However, on MTG Arena, there's no such thing as casual. We get our emotes and we get each other and we just fight to the death. And the dailies only go to the winners, baby, along with those sweet card styles. So hold nothing back, take no prisoners. That's what Arena was made for. And you can save the sportsmanship for the gathering. Like, if I go to a Command Fest, I'm probably not going to be the guy you see who sits behind a computer and battles unknown faces and places. But here on Arena, I can definitely pull out the just try hard salt mine. Anyway, get your taxes done. I believe they pushed the deadline to May 15th this year. Maybe it was June 15th. I think it was May 15th. So tax season in the United States. And this is your public service reminder for that, along with THALIA. Legendary creature, human soldier. Who would have thought? What an amazing commander. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I'll see you in the next video. And if it's a historic Brawl one, you better believe we're going to be coming up with ways to deal with this sucker. Because, God, what have I unleashed upon the world? You're cool.